Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In Phase, the Cycle Syncing podcast. I'm Robin.
And I'm Lauren.
In Phase is a podcast, a space, a community for women who are passionate about embracing all of the phases of their cycles, their bodies, and their lives.
Amen, sister.
Amen, sister.
We've had some big phase shifts since our last episode.
We have. So for those at home listening or in the car or on your walk or wherever you are, it'll only be a week from episode to episode for you at home, but it has been 2 months since Lauren and I recorded the first episode that you heard last week to us sitting down right now.
Yeah, it's been a big shift. If you're watching, my baby is no longer attached to my body.
For anyone who tuned in on YouTube or can see this on social, you'll notice from last week to this week, giant body change in Lauren, who was 8.5 months pregnant last time we recorded. And now the baby is living outside of her body.
Living outside my body. She just turned 9 weeks this week.
Are you serious?
Crazy pants. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I guess,
nuts.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's okay. So congrats to Lauren, everyone.
Thank
she has
you.
entered the phase of motherhood.
And then there's a big shift for Robin, too. Robin's entered a phase where her hand is maybe a little bit heavier.
It is a little bit heavier.
What's going on?
Lauren was out having babies. I was out getting engaged. So we both, between last episode and this episode, have had some big life changes and some big phase shifts. So while this is a cycle syncing podcast at its core, and we're going to talk about all things cycle, periods, follicular, menstrual, luteal, ovulatory. We also want to make sure that we're talking about just the phases of life that we go through as women, and thought it would be a great time to kind of introduce ourselves and talk a little bit more about what those are for us right now, because they're pretty big.
They're pretty big. And I think what's actually really fun is that Robin and I, we've texted over the last 2 months, but I think we've both been trying to save having an actual catch up because we wanted to record it.
Yes. We came downstairs to set up the studio, and because we wanted to save all of our catch up, which is the past 2 months between you having a baby, becoming a new mother, going through postpartum, me getting engaged. It falls in the tier of things so much lower than becoming a mom.
It's still really big.
But it's big. It's big. But we did not say a word to each other outside of really lame small talk. How's your mom? For 45 minutes setting this up.
Work good?
Yeah. So you said work's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So I'm excited. Tell me everything. So let's start with you. You are a mom now. That is cuckoo bananas.
It's crazy.
It's so interesting. And you have to tell me if this still resonates with you, because we talked about this when you were pregnant, but it's we're in our mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 34 years old.
Yeah.
In biblical times, I would have had a child that's 20 years old at this point. And yet I still think of us as children. We're too young to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm playing pretend with this thing on.
Yep.
And way too young to have kids. And now I'm looking at you and you're like, my friend's a mom. But most of my friends are moms, but yet I still can't compute. So
yeah. Well, I feel the same way about myself.
Yeah.
And that it's funny where I'm I feel the same way. I'm technically an older mom. I'm a 33.
Yeah.
But
geriatric, isn't it?
Literally 2 years from being geriatric.
Okay.
And there's still this feeling of I'll look at this baby that I'm fully obsessed with and I'm what gives me the right and the wisdom to take care of a human?
100%.
I still feel like I'm 18 every single day.
Yeah.
And so it's so my mind is truly blown when I think about the fact that it's bizarre that our generation is having kids late, because this doesn't feel late at all. I'm I can't even imagine if I were 22 or 23 having a kid. Although I will say this, there's one thing about there's something kind of amazing about, I think, entering this journey when I feel I have a better sense of who I am. Compared to what my sense of identity is now versus what it was at 22. It's definitely a lot more mature and a lot more full. That being said, when I was 22 and 23, I could function off of 4 hours of sleep. I was amazing. I need no sleep. I would wake up at 5 a.m. I would do these crazy workouts at 6 a.m. and it would be effortless. And now I'm oh, I get why maybe people had kids when they were younger, because you just have more energy and you can function off of less sleep.
Yeah. Hearing the way that my friends who have babies, especially the most recent postpartum, the first 3-4 months, the amount that you're sleeping, not sleeping is unfathomable to me. And yet I know everyone does it.
Right.
Because when I was texting you about like checking in, like I would text like every few days the first couple weeks you were home, and every text started with tired but hanging in.
Yeah.
We're tired, hanging in.
Yeah.
It's tired, it's amazing, but we're tired.
Right, but we're tired. Especially like I feel like I like used to track my sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I love sleep. A huge fan of sleep.
Love sleep.
Sign me up. Couldn't possibly get enough sleep.
You know what I've been talking a lot about lately? Sleep hygiene. That never used to be in my vernacular at all. And now, like, literally I used the word like 3 times in different appointments last week.
I love it. And it makes sense.
Could work on my sleep hygiene.
No, it's like so important. And so it is kind of wild that like, I think that's one of the cool things that I'm learning about this new phase is there's like a few moments in life where I feel like we learn what our limits are not. Like we might think we have a set of like what we're capable of doing. And there's things that we do that make us go, no, we're more powerful, more capable than we ever thought we were. And this is one of those moments, but it's mostly just because of the sleep factor. I'm like, I can function off of 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And that's a miracle, baby.
That is a miracle.
So I'm like, if I can do that, I can do anything.
So talk to me though about, because I felt some woman pride swelling up in you there for a moment. How do you feel about your body and the fact that like you quite literally created and built a full-formed human being that's now out living in the world?
Yeah. I've always been in awe of the human body.
Yes.
I've always been in awe of especially like women and what we go through.
I was going to say human bodies are interesting. Female bodies are incredible.
Incredible. And like my appreciation rose exponentially when I was pregnant, just sort of like feeling my body changing, just having to like just trust, like trusting that your body's just going to do whatever the heck it needs to protect this human is like unbelievable. So I was already feeling like, I was like, I had the most appreciation. It'll never be this high. Like, and then all of a sudden I gave birth.
Did you have to make that a conscious effort to think that way throughout the pregnancy? Or did it that just come naturally to you? Like the appreciation for your body and what it was doing? Because I think so often women get wrapped up in their bodies changing in a certain way that they can't control, rather than, I mean, and I have no idea how I would respond to it. Not rather than, but perhaps in addition to also, like, I assume feeling grateful for it because it is so miraculous, like truly at its core. But at the same time, too, your body is changing in a way that you have no control over, and you're a different person physically.
Yeah, I do think it required going into it with a very specific mindset. Because I think as a woman, and like as someone who was an athlete too, I was very obsessed with having control over my body. Yeah. Of sort of like knowing and just knowing what it's going to do at all times.
Yes.
And so going into pregnancy, I had to sort of relinquish all control and say like, I don't know how I'm going to feel, because also everyone feels so different during the process. So I do think I went into it with an open mind of sort of saying like, I'm like relinquishing all of it for 9 months.
I love that.
And I'm just going to trust that my body knows what it's going to do. I think I was able to have that mindset because also I've just sort of learned like our body is so resilient. Yeah. That like for a while I was like 9 months of not having control, of like getting bigger, of not knowing if I can lose the weight. That like kind of prevented me from wanting to be pregnant for a while, to be honest. Like I
appreciate you being honest about that. I feel like women may not talk about that as much, that you really do, like, the amount of sacrifice that women make to build a family and to start that and be pregnant, it starts with you, is massive. Yeah. Like you're giving up control of your body, and then you're also giving up the fact that your body might never be the same.
Right. And it won't. Yeah. Like you're literally making a promise that your body won't be the same. You know what I mean?
You're like, yeah,
see
you later.
Because it can't go back. Yeah. So it is this sort of thing that, right, it's like it in a way kind of feels sort of vain, but I'm like, I really feel very connected to my body. It's one of the things that like I really love about myself, is that I feel like when I'm within my body, I feel more connected to like who I am. I feel more connected to who I am spiritually. I just feel like my relationship with my body is so important. Yeah. That relinquishing all control and sort of like letting it do its thing really, really scared me. Yeah. But what I found was that by actually just like trusting it to do its thing, I appreciate it so much more.
Oh, I love that.
Like, I have such a deep appreciation for what this thing has been able to do.
No shit.
And I also have so much more grace, and, like, my understanding of beauty, too.
Okay.
Has shifted.
Say more.
In that, like, I've always thought all bodies were beautiful. But I think I've always felt like I wanted my body to look a certain way.
Yes.
And I watched my body transform, and I felt so beautiful when I was bigger and when I didn't know like what I was going to look like the next couple of weeks. And even right now, like in postpartum, as I'm getting back to working out and things, it's like I just feel so comfortable with how I'm presenting in a way that I don't think I've ever been able to feel that way. And I think it's because I know what my body is capable of doing.
Yeah.
And to me, there's like so much beauty in just being healthy and being able to create life and also sustain life now.
Holy shit. I love all of this.
I'm just like, yeah, my whole, it's crazy. Everyone's like, it fully transforms you. And you're like, yeah. I'm like, sure. And I'm like, literally, I'm like, oh, like I can't, like I see the world differently now.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And also, you were the most beautiful pregnant person. Lauren was out here bopping around. She never had her belly covered. It was crop tops and sports bras and like low slung wind pants and trucker hats for her entire pregnancy. It was amazing.
Thank you. It was very fun.
It was awesome. It was like even like at like our in-phase photo shoot, it was just like you like belly out, popping, rocking out.
What's interesting though, what's funny about that though is like I loved being pregnant. Like I loved showing off my belly. I felt so proud of it.
Yeah.
And what's been interesting in the postpartum phase is that no one like knows I'm postpartum.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something really interesting too about like learning how to dress again. There was something nice about dressing for being pregnant, and it's sort of like let everyone know like this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And I can't really do that visually anymore. So it's very interesting, sort of like setting the stage when it comes to conversations with people.
Yeah.
Like, I can't like quite as easily let people know where I'm at, which I'm finding to be a really interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, like you were communicating where you were at in life and like the phase that you were at with your body all the time. It was so clear.
Right.
So do you feel now that you wish that you had that back a little bit, like, or do you like the fact that you now are like a little bit more mysterious with where you're at in life? I know. Like, listen, I'm no longer outwardly pregnant. I'm like very black cat.
I'm like back to my Scorpio rising.
Yes, exactly. I was just gonna say. I was like, feels very Scorpio of you.
It feels. I think I'm just adjusting to it.
Okay.
I think there was something that like, it felt kind of more like natural, being a little bit more explicit about what I was going through.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because that's not how I would say like I go through life.
Yeah.
It felt really natural.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm sort of adjusting to what it's like going back into the kind of like mysterious phase of it all.
Do you think it's going to push you to be a little bit more expressive in general if you liked the way that felt? That's cool.
For sure. There's something about it that sort of felt like, it just felt, it felt like I was less reserved.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm feeling very much like, okay.
But that's also like what I hear so often too from my friends who are moms, where like you come into this like power in motherhood as well, where it's like, I don't know necessarily if it's like giving less fucks, but it's like, oh, I have this thing that I care so deeply about that I'm not going to let anybody else or anyone's attitude or like bad energy get in the way of me and this and everything that I have going on. Or it's just like not letting the small stuff not letting the small sweat that I'm having a stroke. Not sweating the small stuff.
No, I think it's all the above. And I think for me especially, it's just like the trusting my instincts more. I feel like I'm so like, instead of like second guessing everything, which I always used to do.
Amen.
Like, I just trust my instincts more.
In terms of like what you're doing with CJ, or in terms of just like how you're moving through the world?
Kind of moving through the world.
Badass. So if you want to become more confident, become a mother.
Yeah, honestly, kind of. Honestly, kind of. It's like a really small thing to do, though.
Yeah. Just do it.
Yeah, it's been really fascinating.
Wow.
I feel like a different person in a really exciting way.
Okay.
And yeah, I just feel like I no longer have like time to second guess what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of want to own it. And I think there's also beauty too in that like I want my daughter to own all the things that she feels. And I was so like, I grew up in a way that just was like, how am I presenting? It's always about presenting.
Okay.
And people pleasing and sort of like putting on a show for everyone else.
Okay.
And I've been unlearning that for like the past decade, especially like the past like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I like want my daughter to like embrace all the parts of her, like the parts that are like funny and sad and overly emotional and sensitive and strong, and to not feel like you have to only be like what everyone else wants you to be. And so, oh my gosh, emotional.
I know, I'm getting emotional over here. I'm like trying not to say anything. I'm like, don't interrupt this.
No,
It's so good. Also, that was the first time I heard you say my daughter.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, man. I love that so much. It's almost like you have been working on this in a silo or in isolation, just you for the past 10 years to unlearn what you spent the first 25 years of your life learning.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have her, and this is like the final push to take you over the finish line. I mean, we're never going to be like fully healed or fully evolved or fully like A+, but like it's almost like she is like that guiding force to kind of like propel you to like do the last bit of work to change the narrative and change the structure of how it's going to go moving forward for generational growth.
It's so true. It's so true. And you're right. It's like it's so much easier to work on myself when there's a very tangible impact if I don't.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm pretty good at like trying to be self-aware and trying to grow, but now there's like a really strong motivation that like I can literally look at and like touch and see that I'm like, oh, for me to be better is for you to have a better pathway.
Oh.
So we got to do it.
Oh my God.
So it's been crazy.
All right. She's in her mom phase, everyone.
In the mom
She's in her confident phase.
Yeah.
She's in her less people-pleasing phase. Tell me about, I really want to know about the birth.
Birth was crazy. What's funny is that I'm like kind of a last minute person, as you know. I like to just like kind of fly by the seat of my pants, which mostly works out. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But I would say when it came to prepping for birth, I was basically trying to like get to maternity leave, like just like finish out work, wrap everything up, and then it was like I'll focus on like really prepping. So like throughout, so like I spent like working on my body and stuff, like working out and things like that. But I didn't like hire a doula. I didn't like take birthing classes. I was like, I'm gonna do all of that in my last month.
Is that normal?
Well, I guess I had a month. I took a month off before my due date because that was just like part of my benefits, which was great. So I had 1 month before the birth to like just focus on that, which is why I was like, I'm gonna do that. I think most people don't have a month off before they give birth.
But do most people, and forgive my ignorance because if no one can tell, I do not have children. From all my questions, how does that work? But do most people wait until the last month if you were to get a doula or you were to take birthing classes? Is it in the last month that women do that? Or
I feel like I know that a lot of people will get doulas ahead of time because they can like help you throughout the pregnancy phase too.
Okay.
Birthing class, I hear you just take kind of like whenever. Okay. But I know most people take it closer to the birth is what it seems like.
I don't know.
So I was like planning to do it in the last month. I literally had scheduled 3 virtual doula appointments during my 38th week, which I know is close. But I was working on some other shit.
Your 38th week?
Yep. I had 3 scheduled for my 38th week. So I had 2 scheduled for my 37th week, but like something happened and I had to move them. So anyway, that was like going to be the only like official professional conversations I was going to have about like giving birth. What should I know? How do I push? Like,
are you fucking serious?
Like I had my hospital bag prepped and shit like that, but I didn't know
this
how to push.
Gives me so much residual anxiety as someone who is like the type A planner to like for months in advance, like spreadsheets for everything. Like we're getting a puppy soon.
Yep.
And I am not comparing that to a child at all. But the amount of like spreadsheets and research I have about how you're supposed to train this dog, it's infuriating to my partner.
No, I mean, I understand. And I think that's the wise thing to do.
No, I'm just also really loving that I don't know where this story is going and you keep saying it in past tense. I was going to meet with these women in my 38th week, which makes me think that perhaps that did not happen.
Oh, it did not happen. It did not happen because the 3 appointments were literally supposed to happen at the time when I was at the hospital in labor. Because I went into labor 2 weeks early.
Yes. All right. Okay.
2 weeks early, baby. So basically what happened was, it was a Monday. My husband had just come home from San Diego because he's been working in San Diego. He came home for 1 day because he had 1 day off.
Kismet.
Got home at 9:30 that morning. We went to my OB at noon for my regular 1 week. Every week I have a checkup with her. She checks the bits, checks the baby, see how things are going.
The baby and the bits.
The baby and the bits. The bees and the bees. At noon, we had the appointment. She was like, "You're not dilated. So maybe I'll probably see you next week. Maybe I'll see you sooner." 5 hours later, I have a contraction.
What does it feel like? And also, wait, okay, so what does it feel like? And did you have any indication that this was going to happen? Like, for instance, you know, the day before you get your period or even like the morning of your period, you could have like pre-cramps. And like, I know it's like, okay, in 2 days, this will happen because of the way my body feels, or like because of the way my stomach, my uterus feels, or the way my breasts feel or something. Like, did you have any indication, or was it just the contraction that you're like, wee, wee, wee?
Great question. So what's crazy is that when I had this contraction, I didn't even know it was an indication yet, because you can have contractions like weeks before you actually.
Braxton Hicks. I know that.
Exactly. So I would say I had no indication that I was about to go into labor.
Fun surprise.
My water hadn't broken yet. I had gotten random contractions every now and then. So like this
really?
wasn't like the first one.
What does it feel like, a contraction?
So my contractions prior to these contractions felt like a really gnarly period cramp.
Oh.
Just like the worst period cramp. It's like maybe you're having a period cramp and you also ate like week-old sushi.
That's what the contractions previous to this felt like?
Yes. I learned that
as someone who is on the fence about having children, I'm very concerned about how this story is going to go, which way it's going to tip me.
Well, what I learned is that I went through a specific thing called back labor, which is not common. It's not common, but it's not the majority.
Okay.
My labor, all of my contractions were in my back. So like, meaning a majority was in my back.
Where you felt it?
Yeah. So I was feeling like the shit in the front, but most of the pain, like 85% of the pain, was actually in my back.
Wow.
Which was really brutal.
So what does it feel like in your back?
It like felt like someone was like stabbing me from the inside.
I was just gonna ask if it felt like someone was stabbing you.
It was. I think I have a pretty high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
This was like the most pain I've ever experienced.
Okay, so.
But it starts out and you're like, ooh, like it like hurts, and then it just starts getting like more intense over time. So I got one at like 5:30, and I was like, oh, this feels different because I'm feeling it in my back. And
were you afraid?
I wasn't afraid.
Okay.
I was just sort of like, oh, that's different.
Did it set off alarm bells for you when that happened, that you were like, oh, this is it? Or was it just, this was different?
What's funny is that I would say I didn't think it was happening then.
Oh, okay.
But I knew it was different. I was like, this is very different. But I didn't think it was happening yet. I think because I saw my doctor 5 hours before.
Yeah. And she had just said, no, you're good.
Right. I was just like, it couldn't possibly happen that day.
You're also,
what was happening in my head.
I can't imagine. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and like, you're walking into the most unknown yet natural progression of a shift in body that you're ever going to have going into labor. Like, nothing to me sounds scarier than going into labor and like what's going to happen to your body and the pain that you know you're about to go through.
Yeah.
I'm listening to a podcast right now that's about like old medieval history and so much childbirth stuff.
Oh, interesting.
And people are always like, people have been doing this since the dawn of time. And I'm like, yeah, do you know how many people died in like women and children in childbirth?
Yeah.
Like close to 40%.
Crazy.
At certain points in time.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's terrifying.
No, it's terrifying. And I'll be honest, I was terrified of birth.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I was really scared of.
Okay.
Was just like, just because it is literally so dangerous.
Yeah. Especially nowadays if you live in a red state. So be careful out there, please.
Right. Exactly. So like I was definitely.
We're in California, FYI.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was definitely scared, but I kept telling myself, I'm like, I'm going to be in a hospital.
Yeah.
So like, I'm surrounded by people who are set up to help me if something goes wrong.
100%.
So, like, luckily, when the first contraction happened, it didn't feel like it was actually like labor time. I was just like, this is really different. I'm going to pay attention. So this one lasted probably like 40 seconds. And I was like, okay, that's longer. So what we know, or what I knew, is that if you start having contractions, it's like if you have a contraction that lasts 1 minute and you have one every 5 minutes, that's when your body is in labor. Like that's when it's time to go to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
So I had one and I was like, that was long and felt different.
Are you telling Gabe this as it's going on?
So Gabe is on the west side. I'm on the east side.
Okay.
Gabe's about 40 minutes away. He had just finished recording his podcast. So he's at Grant's house, actually.
We're a podcast family, folks.
Podcast family. So I was like, didn't need to tell him yet. And I was like, I think it's fine.
You are hilarious. The way I would be on that phone so fast. Buzz, 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 buzz. Hey, I felt one thing. What do you think about this? I need to tell you everything.
No, I
need attention. I need sympathy. I need you.
I'm psychotic, and this is how you know I'm fully psychotic. I had one. I was like, weird. I'm not going to tell Gabe. It's no big deal. He texts me. He's like, hey, I just finished recording a podcast. I think I'm going to wait on the west side just to like wait out the traffic because the traffic's pretty bad. And I just had another contraction. I had 2.
You didn't tell him, did you?
And I was like, cool, no biggie.
Shut up.
I said, just FYI, having a couple contractions, just giving you a heads up.
What was his response?
Gabe called me.
Yeah, no shit. There's a normal response for a husband to a wife saying, yeah, babe, no worries. Stay out as late as you want. By the way, I'm in labor, but just an FYI.
So Gabe's like, hello? He's like, what
I can like picture this too.
He's like, what do you mean you're having a couple contractions?
Yeah, that's a normal response, babe.
And I was like, just a few more than usual. And like they're kind of like in my back a little longer. He was like, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, I didn't want to stress anyone out, so I wasn't sure yet.
Again, the difference between me and you. I will stress everyone out.
So then
I'll be banging down doors.
So then the third contraction came, and I was like, okay. Things are happening. So I quickly downloaded, I was like, there's got to be an app to track contractions. Okay. Like, instead of me doing math.
I like how you're like, I haven't taken a birthing class. I haven't met with a doula. I do have my backpack. Let me see if there's an app for this.
App? So I'm like in the app store, and I'm like, contraction timer? There's an app called Contraction Timer. It's unbelievable. You press a button when a contraction starts, you press it when it ends, and then it basically calculates the average for how long your contractions are and then how far apart they are.
Wait,
so
I love this.
It's amazing. So basically it'll tell you, like, it does the rule. Like, it'll tell you if they're at least a minute long and every 5 minutes. And what's amazing is that it starts to give you alerts. So I'm tracking my contractions.
For how long? How long is this going on?
It's now been like an hour.
Okay.
And my app alerts me. It's like, hey, you're having contractions every 7 minutes and they're at least a minute long. Make sure your hospital bag is ready.
Oh my God, it's like DEFCON 5. Like, I like the countdown to that. Then did you start to get nervous?
So then I was like, oh, we're going to the hospital. So then I quickly...
You're like, I'm having a baby.
Yeah, having a baby. So then I called Gabe. I was like...
How far away is he at this point?
He's like 35 minutes.
Oh, he's still 30. Welcome to LA, folks. Welcome. What time was this at? Like in the afternoon?
Like 6:15.
Oh, you're fucked.
Yeah, coming from the west side.
Yeah.
So
for anyone unfamiliar with LA traffic, I'm sure you're familiar with the cliche, but that is like a long distance relationship.
Yep.
The west side to the east side at rush hour traffic on a weekday.
Yeah. It's like minimally an hour.
It's an hour when there's no traffic.
Yeah, true.
It can be like 2 to 2.5 sometimes. Yeah. It's taken me 2 hours to get home from the west side before.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Okay.
Gnarly. So he's like 35 minutes away. I was like, okay, we're gonna go to the hospital tonight. So I called Gabe. I was like, heads up, we're gonna go to the hospital tonight. We're having more contractions. It's happening. He's like, okay, let's figure out what to do with the dog. I prepped my bag. I ate 2 breakfast burritos immediately because I was told that once you get to the hospital, like, you can't really eat, especially if you get like the drugs.
Oh, let's pause for a second and talk about some important things here. Where were the breakfast burritos from?
So a week before, some friends came over and we prepped a bunch of meals for when I was gonna.
Props to a village.
Yeah, no, this process has also just taught me like how wildly important community is.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I just like I feel like I've always known it, but like I felt my community love on us so deeply.
Yep.
And it was like absolutely crucial and the only thing that kind of like got us through.
It's deaths and births. It's like this cycle of life that like people show up that you really, really need people for different reasons, obviously.
Yeah.
And yeah, show up for your people.
Yeah.
Like it is like of the utmost importance and makes like such a massive difference.
Yes. So I ate my breakfast burritos at 6 p.m. Gabe got home. I think it was at like 7:15. We left for the hospital. We got there at 8 o'clock.
Did you like shower or anything?
Here's what's also just miraculous. I had just showered before.
Okay.
I had just showered. I just put my leave-in conditioner in my hair. I also weirdly like just changed out my earrings, kind of like knowing that I wouldn't want to do that like once birth happens.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like and I had like my favorite like cozy outfit on. So I felt like...
How many times am I going to say, I love that this episode? I love that.
Felt very lucky. Like I felt like...
Yeah.
Like I was like in a good headspace. But yeah, we were driving over and like the contractions started getting worse. And I was like, oh, this is something...
Are you making audible noises when they're coming through?
Yeah.
Like tennis grunts type stuff?
So what I learned on via TikTok, is that when you're...
Lauren's doula, TikTok.
Yeah, TT. Is that... like breathing through the contractions helps and like vocally breathing through.
Okay.
So they say like you want to like breathe with your diaphragm as opposed to like doing anything like high pitched. So like you're like ooh.
Okay.
Like helps you like helps you with the contractions.
Oh, okay.
So of course
it's kind of like a spooky breath.
Spooky breath.
Okay.
It actually turned into me doing a lot of who let the dogs out? Who? That was me for hours in the hospital. These nurses thought I was crazy.
Gabe loved it, I assume. Yeah. Yes.
So there's a lot of singing the Baha Men. No one taught me that about birth.
Pay attention, folks at home, okay? Lauren is your new doula friend.
Straight up, you're welcome. I get to the hospital. I finally it took me like 15 minutes to like be checked into a room. They check to see if I'm dilated because technically your labor starts when your cervix is dilated.
Okay.
That's when you're like in labor.
Right. And when you're 10 centimeters dilated, that's when you're ready to start pushing, right?
Exactly.
So is any centimeters dilated? Does that mean you're in active labor?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm having these contractions. I'm like these two monitors are on me.
Okay.
They're happening every 4 minutes. These contractions are lasting a long time. I'm not dilated at all.
What? No.
And because I am 38 weeks and 5 days, they can't induce me because they can't induce you unless you're 39 weeks. So they were like, okay, you're obviously having contractions. You're obviously in a ton of pain. We technically can't say you're in active labor, so we can't check you in for labor. So can you walk around for like another hour and a half, get your body like moving, so then hopefully you're dilated, so then hopefully we can say you're officially in labor and check you in.
I would be livid.
Yeah, irate.
Were you mad?
I was in so much pain.
Like that's what hits me. It's like I'm at a hospital. I am in pain.
Yeah.
Check me in.
Yeah. I was just in so much pain that I was just like, it is what it is. So I was like, all right. So I was like, can we go outside? So at least like we're walking outside. It was like cool out, which was nice. Trying to like just forget about the pain as much as I can.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of like, you just got to go through it essentially. And after an hour and a half, very painful. I got back to the hospital room. It was like 10 p.m. And they checked me again. And I'm not dilated.
Shut the fuck up.
Also, this is what's funny too. When they check you, they like shove their fingers up you.
Lovely.
In a way that's like very painful.
Oh, God.
So it's just like not cute. And the funny part.
You're just getting like flashbacks like your worst pap smear ever.
Yeah,
like
truly.
Cranked open.
Truly.
Scraping the inside of you. Yes.
And the funny part now is that this happened every time they check my cervix. Someone would come and check it. And they go, it's not dilated, but your cervix is so thin. We can like feel the baby that it's so thin.
What?
So I'm gonna have another nurse come and also check too. So it was always like two nurses.
Did you know that you had a thin cervix before this?
I had no idea.
That's cool.
I had no idea. But I guess the good news is that because my cervix, I guess, was shortening so much, the doctor was like, hey, you're not dilated. However, your cervix has become so thin that we can say there's been a change in your body, so we can check you in and we'll say you're in labor.
Oh, so it was becoming thinner because of the labor.
Yeah.
You're not just sitting here with like your cervix right now.
Yeah.
Thickety thick.
Yeah, I guess it was like already thin though, because I guess it was like thinning out like crazy. Okay. I have no idea. But anyway, so they were able to like check me in, which is great.
Okay, thank God.
Thank God. And at that point I was like, give me all the drugs. I need all the drugs.
Okay.
At first I was like, if I can not do drugs, that'd be great. But I had no strong opinion.
Yeah.
I went in being like, I'm open to anything.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go with the flow with labor.
Yeah, exactly. And then once it was like 10:30 p.m., I was like, I need these drugs. I am exhausted.
And are you talking epidural or are you talking like Pitocin?
So both, basically.
Both. Okay.
So it starts with the epidural and then you get the Pitocin after that.
Okay.
So I was like, give me the epidural. It took like an hour and a half to even like start the process.
Wait, let's talk about the epidural. It's a needle that they put in your back, correct? Does it go directly into your spine?
I think so.
Did you see the needle?
I did not see the needle.
Okay. Was that on purpose?
Not to be honest, I was like just hunched over in pain, kind of the whole. I like honestly couldn't really even focus on what was happening
because you were in that much pain.
Because I was in that much pain.
Okay.
Like that, it didn't really like I like even like when the nurses were putting IVs in me and things, like I couldn't even focus on what was going on.
And I'm like, it's not over here. Like I'm like I'm shocked that labor is so painful, but like knowing you are in such control of your body and you are so thoughtful and mindful about like being present and like that is shocking.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, I thought
that you like dipped into like a bit of like dissociation because it was so painful.
Fully.
Whew.
I like Gabe would ask me like, how are you feeling? What can I get you? And like I couldn't even answer him to say like what he can get me. Like I could not speak. I was in so much pain. So it was, I kind of was just like, it kind of helps because your whole brain is just like breathe, get through it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can't see the needle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just sort of like
good
operating to get through. They put it in your back. Again, I didn't really know what was going on. I had this really swaggy guy who did it for me.
The nurse?
Yeah, he was fucking cool.
Love that.
He was like, you got some cool jams playing in here. It was like,
You're like, yeah, I do. Like, rewind Ashanti for me, please.
It was like a good vibe.
And also, can you harmonize the Baha Men?
Right.
Do you want to join in with Gabe and I?
We actually do a barbershop quartet Baha Men, and you can be our third person. Thank you. So we did that, and then what was helpful was that the epidural, the doctor recommended it. One, I was going to get it anyway, but he was like, because you're not dilated at all, it's going to take your body a little bit of time to dilate, and it'll help you sleep. Like if you get drugs right now, it's midnight. He's like, at least you'll hopefully get a little bit of sleep so that when it's time to push, you'll have more energy.
Are they able to give you time frames? Well, like when he's coming in, he's like, I'm giving you your epidural. I would be like, how much time are we talking here? Like, am I going to be pushing in 2 hours or like 24 hours?
It's a really good question. Basically, they were like, you probably won't push until the morning, but it just depends on when my body was going to dilate.
Okay.
So, and the challenge too is that once you get the drugs, I learned this, once you get the drugs, it makes your contractions space out further apart, which means your labor can go longer. So that's actually why a lot of people don't get the drugs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's because it can make your labor last longer.
Okay.
So that's why some people choose to go fully natural.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like, we knew I wouldn't be pushing till the morning.
Yeah.
But we had no idea what the time frame was going to be.
Okay.
So basically, I slept on and off 45-minute increments, which is not bad. At like 6 a.m., they checked my cervix again. I had dilated like 2 inches.
Oh my God.
So they were like, we're going to check again in 2 hours. And basically, I was able to get an estimation that I should be fully dilated by 12:30 p.m.
Okay. And you had gone into the hospital at
8 p.m.
8 p.m. the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And once you get the epidural, you can't eat. It's only clear liquids. So
I was just going to ask, I was like, what are you doing while you're there?
You're just trying to sleep.
Okay.
Trying to like sleep. And then once it hit like 11 o'clock and I knew I was like 2 hours out-ish from like labor, that's when it was like, open the shades, lights on, let's play some music. Let's like try to like, and plus I had drugs, so I was like rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Felt amazing.
Yeah.
That's when we're like playing like some really fun music, trying to like dance to like move the hips a little bit, just trying to like get ready. That's like with like the next like.
Do you have videos of this?
I do.
Okay. I need to see these eventually.
I'll show this to you.
Yeah.
And there's basically like one nurse there who's like kind of coaching you through the whole thing, how to push, how to breathe, all these different postures and things.
You didn't even need those virtual appointments with that doula.
I did.
Those doulas.
I pushed for 3 hours.
Whoa!
Pushed for a long time.
3 hours straight?
Yep, 2 hours, 45 minutes straight. And you push on every contraction, basically. It was exhausting. Although, to be honest,
I am dumbfounded. I mean, I know, here's the thing. I'm afraid I'm going to sound really stupid on this episode because I'm like asking all of these questions that like so many women are like, duh. Like,
I didn't know any of this stuff,
have you ever seen a movie where it's like, yeah, you see people in there like for so long?
Yeah.
But if you actually think about it, the idea of, well, you're not in pain at this point, which is great. But the idea of being that physically exhausted and having to try to push something out of your vagina for 3 hours straight with no breaks is categorically fucking nuts. Yeah. And yet women do it every single day.
All the time.
And that is what I think we need to keep in mind. This is what I mean by like women's bodies are like absolute miracles.
Right.
Absolute miracles. Like let us not forget ever.
Right. And I think about this too. I'm like, I've run marathons.
Yeah. Which is also, shout out, really cool thing to say.
No, but like, I know what it's like to like be like in physical pain. It's all in your brain. Push through for like just shy of 4 hours. This, nothing compared to that.
Really?
So fucking hard. You know what I mean? So
yes.
I kind of went into it being like, oh, like I can do this.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I could, but like, again, I'm like, the fact that people do this all the time.
Every day.
Every day.
All day, every day.
I mean, there's 4 births every second is what I learned recently.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy that our bodies are capable of doing this. So yeah, push. It's like hard to know. Like I didn't know like what to push because you're not like pushing like you're pooping. It's like you're like closing in your abs in a weird way. It's
really?
It's not like belly button to spine sort of ab work. So it took me a while to figure out how to do it. It was bizarre. They also offered me a mirror, which actually I took, which was amazing.
Really?
Because I'm like such a, like I need positive validation. So for me to like see her head coming out, for me it was like, oh, I can see the finish line. So like having a mirror was like actually amazing.
How long when you can see her head, are you finishing in the next like 30 seconds or is that like part of the 3 hours? Like she was chilling there for like another hour.
Like the part like the last like 2 hours.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I thought as soon as you can see her, she's sliding out. Not sliding out. It's not a slip and slide, but like
she's seeing like this much of like her head.
Oh my God. Really?
To get to, like, the big part. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wait, I never knew that.
Yeah. And then once you get to like the biggest part of her head is when the doctor comes in. And that's when you're like a few pushes to being done. But it took me a long time to get to that point.
I'm realizing I've like never sat down with a friend and been like talked through interview style about their birth. And this is just like blowing my mind.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I was like pushing. I'm like watching it in the mirror. Gabe's there.
Is Gabe crying?
No, but he's being like really, he's being a good like coach. He's helping me breathe.
Yeah.
What was interesting too is like the way that you push. I didn't know. I didn't know any of this either. So like, it was super new to me.
But you missed your doula appointment.
I missed it exactly. Like you push when your contraction is at the highest.
Highest level of pain.
Yeah, because that's when your body is already trying to like squeeze to push the baby out. So that's when you start pushing. You push with the contraction.
Yeah.
And the way that you do it is you breathe in. And then you hold your breath, and then you push for like 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then you breathe out, and then you breathe in. Hold your breath, push for 10 seconds, breathe out, breathe in. So actually, to me, what was kind of interesting, the hardest part for me was holding my breath and pushing.
Yeah.
Because I just don't, I've never like practiced holding my breath for 10 seconds and then using all of my
100%
at once.
Lauren's also a yoga teacher, so is well in charge of her breath work as well. So
like, just like that was to me was the hardest part, and I found that like what's so funny and like so goofy is like I like was like my body wanted to I'm used to breathing out when I'm working hard, right? Like that's what you do.
Yeah. Exhale and then work with your breath.
When you're lifting weights, you exit whatever.
Yeah.
So to like hold my breath when doing something hard, like
I feel like I would like bust a capillary in my eye or something like that. You know what I mean?
No, Robin, I everyone, the nurses were everyone was joking because I was like gonna pop a vein.
Yes.
Because I was turning bright red because for me to push and hold my breath, I was like I was like and everyone's like chill, to the point where the nurse was like, Gabe, can you put your hand on Lauren's head when she's pushing so she knows to relax her face?
Oh my God.
Because it was so unnatural for me to not breathe.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. I was like convinced my eyes would be like bloodshot from like popping veins. It's crazy though, because you get to the point where like the head is mostly out, then they call in the doctor. And the doctor's like, all right, we're close, just a few more pushes. And that's when I was like, Gabe, put on Sweetness by Jimmy Eat World. I need like a song to really like get me going.
Yep.
And they're like freaking like stretching you out. And then you do like your last.
So they're pulling your vagina open with their hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here's what I also think is interesting. Because I was in labor for so long and pushing for so long, they're also like, they're kind of like massaging you. Like they're adding like oils that like help your like skin soften and stuff like that. Like I was really lucky. Like I had barely a 1st-degree tear.
I was just going to ask if you had any tearing. Did you do any of that in advance? Oils and massage around the vagina?
I didn't do it.
Okay. I'm like, why am I asking? You didn't go to birthing class. You didn't meet with a doula. Of course, you're not doing the vaginal massages with the oils every night.
I didn't do it.
You're like, it'll be fine. Yeah. I got my favorite sweatpants on my bag and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we're golden. My earrings look good. Stupid. But I think part of it, like I think the long like pushing actually helped because
it's not all happening at once. Yeah,
my body had like a moment to like actually like stretch and relax.
Yeah,
that like I was able to like heal pretty quickly.
Did you have stitches?
I had stitches and they were healed in 2 weeks.
Okay,
which is like really lucky.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's like 6 weeks.
Really?
Like 4 to 6.
Holy buckets. Okay.
So I feel like that was.
Do they dissolve or do you have to take them out?
They dissolve.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So like, had barely, which is great. One crazy thing is like my placenta was still attached to me once the baby came out. So once the baby comes out, you then push your placenta out. One thing I learned on TikTok is that when you're done pushing the baby out, you're not done pushing. You have to push the placenta.
They never show that in the movies.
They never show that.
Never show that in the movies.
So I was prepped for it, but it turns out my placenta was stuck to my body. So
Can you put this? I like again. I don't want to get like ripped apart in comment section here. So like everyone go easy on me. But this sounds so stupid. Can you pull it out? Like, is it part? Because you know how sometimes when you are ovulating and you have like a egg white type discharge, like you can like obviously like pull that out.
Yeah, my doctor literally went like elbow deep in me and pulled out my placenta.
Shut up. Yeah. That's fucking badass.
And like
that's cool.
She put it and then she like plopped it into this like it looked like a container like you use in restaurants.
Okay.
Where, like, where you put like a ton of spices in.
Well, you know everyone's trying to eat their placenta these days. So like maybe that's why.
Right,
what does it look like?
It's like red, brown, goopy.
Okay. Is it all one thing or is it just like kind of like a glop of things? She pulled out multiple
she had a couple
parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know. So, I mean, like we should talk more about placenta in my opinion. So.
I know. We totally should. So like that was fascinating. Yeah, I pulls out the placenta and then they just plop a baby on you. Like it's crazy. You're like, you go through like the most extreme pain, the hardest workout you've ever done. You feel like relief that it's finally done.
Yeah.
And then a baby's on your chest.
So talk to me about that. What was that like? And did you have the immediate flood of like oxytocin? I love this thing so much. Or was it, I need to kind of connect the dots mentally that this is my baby?
It was, I think, more so the latter.
Okay. That's what I've heard from friends, that it is like, it's not what you see in movies where it's like, oh my God, I'm so immediately so in love. It's more of like this, like, oh my God.
It's like, what did I just go through?
This is my baby?
Yeah. And what just happened? Like, what just happened to me?
You just went through physical trauma.
And then with my
but with a great gift at the end.
Right. Like the last 24 hours were insane.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's more so what it was, is like, I remember just like crying because I was like, it was like all the emotions just like coming out of me. And I had this baby and it was like, what? Like this was just in me? What?
Yeah.
Like that's more so what it was more than anything, was just kind of like a, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like everyone kept being like, how was it? I'm like, the only word I can use is like whirlwind. It's like such a whirlwind of like, now all of a sudden, like I'm done pushing. I still have a belly though, because your body is still like in the shape that it was before.
Is it the exact, like you don't immediately like deflate at all?
It's like a little bit, but barely.
Okay.
Like I was like still like had a belly. And then all of a sudden there's a baby on you. And then it's like, okay, we're going to start breastfeeding now. Someone's like undoing my gown.
Wait, right away?
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know how to
Oh my God. I would be like, excuse me, I just met you. Right. Like, let's get introduced.
Like, I don't know how to breastfeed. I didn't even know how to push. I didn't know anything.
What do you mean?
So like, then it's like, it's just all happening so quickly. And then, you know,
Did she latch on right away?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. A queen.
Luckily, homegirl knew what to do.
Okay.
Very, very grateful for.
Oh, we love that.
We love her. But yeah, it was just, and then you're in the hospital for days and you're physically exhausted, in so much pain, but you're also trying to keep a baby alive.
We shouldn't be allowed to do this.
It's crazy.
We shouldn't be allowed to do this. And yet here we are doing it every day.
Right. But then again, it's also the thing, it's again, one of those things that like has just taught me like, oh, what I thought I was capable of is so much more.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like we can do that and then continue on. People do it all the time. It seems impossible, but it's so possible.
It's awesome.
Which is wild.
It's so cool. It truly is. Like, I'm not trying to sound biblical here, but it is nothing short of miraculous.
No, it literally like truly like I find myself like praying now.
I love that.
I haven't prayed in a really long time.
Okay.
And I can't help but do it because I can't believe that my body went through that. I can't believe that I'm healthy. I can't believe this baby is healthy. Like, there's nothing that makes sense. It has to be something supernatural. I like deeply believe that in my bones because it doesn't make sense to me that like our bodies can do this.
I completely get that.
It's truly a miracle.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like.
I mean, like, not to sound cliche, but they call it the miracle of life for a reason, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
we just need to have so much more honor and respect for women's bodies as a collective and as a society when we have like these deep, in-depth conversations about things like this and just in general. Like, let's take a step back and think about how powerful we are as women. The fact that you are able to do that. And then just had a baby plopped on you, fed it, created it, now keeping her alive with the sustenance of just your body.
It's crazy.
And your wisdom that came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking so
your
much.
Your TikTok knowledge?
Yeah. Thank you, TT. I'm like all the time just thinking about, I'm like, if there was a uterus in power, any woman should be paid double.
Always.
Every mom should be paid triple.
Always.
Every single mom should automatically be CEO.
Amen.
That's my
and that is our campaign platform for 2026, 8, 30.
Yes. All of the numbers, all the increments of 2.
Yes. We're talking primaries. We're talking general. We're running on that platform.
Every election.
100%. And before you gave birth, you and I always talked about the fact that that women should get time off with full pay during their cycle as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I maintain, obviously, that men could never go through childbirth.
Nope, not in the slightest.
The way you see a man have a cold these days, you would think that he is in full force physical labor for like the last 3 hours as well.
100%.
I'm like, you're not melting. Like, you have the sniffles, my guy.
Yeah, get over it.
Come on.
You literally could never.
Yeah.
Could never go through what we go through.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is her name?
Her name is Carmen. Carmen Jane is first and middle name. She was born 7.2 pounds. And I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah.
I freaking love her.
She goes by CJ?
She goes by CJ for some, Carmencita by a lot of others too, which is very cute. Carmencita CJ. She is hilarious. She cracks us up. She's just like, she always has like fists.
Yeah.
You always say she's fighting for justice because she's always like one fist in the air, which like I love.
She's her mother's daughter.
Yeah, literally.
Yep.
Literally.
Let's go, baby.
And it's been so fun. It's so hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I'm like exhausted most of the time. It occupies my entire brain because everything is just me doing math about like, okay, when did I feed her last? When did I pump last?
Yeah.
Like you're just always like doing increments of time in your brain, and it's always logistics too. Like I feel like with Gabe, it's always like, okay, well, if you go to the office now, then I have to like, we're always just trying to coordinate who can take care of her and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so overwhelming and all encompassing, which I think is also a thing I was scared about before deciding to get pregnant. I was just like, will I have a life? Like, will I have an identity anymore? Like, am I okay just like being only a mom? And it's like, one, we're not only anything.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we're never just one thing. Even if you are a mom, like you're a mom, also a creative, also a friend, also a daughter.
Yeah, we're multi hyphenates. We do so many things, and like there's gonna be points in our lives where things are gonna have to take over more. It just is like the ebb and flow of what we go through as evolving humans.
Right.
So yeah, it's like one of the harder things I've ever done, if not the hardest thing, but it's so joyful and so fulfilling. And like the world is so fucking chaotic right now, and like such terrible things are going on. And to like be reminded constantly throughout the day of like how beautiful life can be, and to have like a bright light and a thing I get to like breathe life into and like try to help like set up to be able to like fly and make the world better one day.
Ugh.
Like that is magic.
Yeah.
It's magic.
And hopefully you just birthed the next female member of the Supreme Court. God knows we need it.
I keep saying I hope she saves us.
You know what? If anyone's going to, it's CJ.
I think she will.
Yeah, but we got a long time to wait then. So I really hope somebody else's baby steps in sooner to help us out here because we need it.
I mean, maybe like when she's 5, she might be smarter than some of the people in power already.
I'm at 5 weeks. She's smarter than some of the people in power already.
Yeah,
and that on period.
Yeah. And we're not a political podcast, but we're not a political podcast.
Because existing these days is political, okay, folks? So if you have a problem with that, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
That is amazing. All right, well, welcome to the new phase.
Thank you.
It looks amazing on you.
Thank you. It's wild. I'm excited. It's like, a whole new journey, a whole new cycle, but we're entering into it. We're going to go through it, and
I can't wait to meet her.
I know, I can't wait for you to meet her too. Can you tell me about your new phase? Because you're engaged, and I remember feeling very different when I got engaged. Can you tell me about...
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, see, it's interesting because I have been almost like waiting to feel different. And I don't think I do so much. And I don't know if it's because my fiance Harrison and I we've been together for about 3-ish years. Serious for 2 of them. And or 2.5, I would say. But we're in our mid-30s. So it's not as though this was a first love situation. It was a second time around for us. We dated when I was 21. When I was in college, we met on Tinder. Thank you, Tinder.
Tinder.
I know. Back, back before it was just bots and hookups.
I was gonna say, also, I feel like that's like early days of Tinder.
Oh, it was. I was an early adopter.
I was gonna say, you're like, oh my gosh, I love this.
An early adopter for the dating apps. Yeah, I remember I was in college. I was like, what is this? And I was like into there were not that many apps back then. Yeah. And I remember I was into trying what does the App Store have to offer? And I'm gonna poke around here and see what's going on.
Just peruse and see.
I think I literally found it in the App Store and I was like, what? And then so downloaded it. And when I was in college, and I started going on dates, and it was so fun. I remember my roommates were like, "What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. You're meeting these guys online? You were like the class weirdo if you were an early adopter of Tinder, because it was when everyone was just going blackout and making out at bars, is how normal people met in college, which is also how I met a lot of people. So let's not get that twisted.
Did you know anyone else who was using Tinder?
At the time, I don't think I had any girlfriends who were using it. I was going to say, I was like, well, Harrison was using Tinder all the time. So I know him. I know he was. But I met guys from different, because I was in college. I was a senior. I met guys from different schools who I went to school in Minneapolis, and there's a lot of schools in Minneapolis. So I either met guys who were at different colleges, because I was meeting the same old guys at Blarney Pub every Friday and Saturday. And then Harrison was just out of college, and he was working in downtown Minneapolis. So he's an older man. I go to 11 months, everyone. Wow. Yeah.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people were using Tinder that you knew. Did you feel nervous going on any of these dates?
No, because I would do the thing that we all do now, which is look at their social media type stuff.
Yeah.
Or we had mutual friends. What was it was, remember when Hinge? Oh no, you wouldn't remember when Hinge. You've been with Gabe forever. But Hinge used to, when it first started, it was an app based on your mutual friends. It connected to, I don't know if it was your contacts, Facebook, or Instagram, but when someone popped up, it would show you who your first, second, and third degree connections were. So it would be this is a friend of so-and-so. So you were these people were automatically okay in your book because they were real, because they knew someone that you knew.
Makes sense.
And then it also made it really easy for you to go and be like, hey, do you know Ike?
Right.
What's up with him?
Yeah. Give me the deal.
Yes, exactly. So no, wasn't nervous. But it was fun because when you're meeting guys in college at 21, no one, or at least where I went to school, no one was asking anyone on dates.
Right.
And I feel like Tinder, that was my first foray into people being would you like to go on a date with me next Friday to meet? And I was like, I am Sex in the City. Absolutely.
Love.
Tinder gave me the story where the guy challenged me to a roll for roll eat off and then called me a pussy when I lost.
Wow. Wild.
Yeah. And it also gave me my fiance.
Wow. Tinder, honestly, the gift of gab.
Right? Thank you.
Wow.
No, but the Harrison, he was normal.
He was normal.
But he did take me to for our first date. He took me to, do you know what Rosa Mexicana is?
No.
It's a chain Mexican restaurant, but it's a nice chain.
Okay.
I'm trying, what would I equate it to?
Like a P.F. Chang's?
I was just going to say, it's like a P.F. Chang's.
Great, okay.
So when he was this is where I want to take you on a date, I was okay, Carrie from Sex and the City again. Let's go. I was this is amazing. I love Tinder. And he was very funny. He is very funny. But I sit down and I don't think anyone else could have pulled this off, someone who's not funny and self-aware. But he goes, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I'm going to pay for this meal. I want you to know that. But I'm not going to play around, and I'm not going to try to hide this. The end of the meal, when the waitress comes over and she hands me that little billfold, there's going to be 2 cards that go in at the end of the night, because I do have a gift card for this place, which is why I picked it. And I'm going to put my credit card in there.
Hell yeah.
So the first $150, go crazy. You want that margarita? They stick that little beer in it. You get it. Anything you want, go for it. Because $150, we're scot-free. And then I will cover the rest. But I don't want to fuck around and go find her behind the bar and try to do that in secret.
Oh, we love a man who's honest.
And I was just he said it so funny that I was
so great.
I respect you. 100%. And I am going to get that margarita with a little beer in it.
Yes.
He's also an idiot because we went on 2 dates. And then he never asked me out again. How dare you?
Did he just like ghost? Like what happened?
So that's the thing. He didn't ghost. He did the weirdest thing where he never asked me on a date again, but he's a very good guy. He's not a ghoster and he's not a dick. And we both worked in advertising. He would hit me up every 6 months to go get networking drinks. Every 6 months, I would get like a text or an email from him at this point and be like, hey, do you want to go meet at blah, blah, blah after Brit's Pub after work and like talk about the state of the business? Or did you hear that about that new account that Campbell Methune won? I would go. And I would look really cute and I would be like, all right, this is obviously like this is a date again. Nope. Every time he legitimately wanted to talk about agency stuff, wouldn't try to kiss me. We would be flirting and then I would hear from him via email again. He needed more time in the oven for sure though. He absolutely was undercooked. He was 22. After those 5 years of networking drinks that left me utterly confused and a little bit pissed off, it all comes back around because 10 years later, he had moved to New York. I had moved to LA. We had both like had other serious relationships. And I went our separate ways, but stayed in touch on Instagram. Both like the same music, both love skiing. So would like chat about like different trips we were going on every winter. And I was in New York 3 years ago in the summer for work. I was there for a shoot and I posted like a photo on my story from a coffee shop. And he was like, oh my God, you're right by my office. Do you want to get happy hour do you want to get drinks after work today and catch up? I was like, yeah, I haven't seen you in 5 years.
Yeah.
So we go and get drinks. Still just as funny as last time I saw him.
Flirty vibes or like still networking?
Definitely flirty vibes.
Okay.
Flirty vibes for sure, but our flirt was always just like really big, witty. It was like just like funny banter back and forth. So it's definitely, he's not like a suave guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's like, his flirt is funny. Whereas I feel like Gabe is the same.
Yep, totally.
Like his way
just
to
like bits.
Yes. Bits after bits after bits. Like I always was just in stitches with him.
Yeah.
And going to this happy hour, it was like that. No time had passed and it was like even funnier.
Yeah.
Then I wound up being like, hey, I've got to run. I'm going to dinner with my friends, but like, you should come if you don't have plans this weekend. He was like, or tonight. He was like, I don't. I was like, okay. He was like, I'll go change, drop my bag off in Brooklyn and I'll meet you guys for dinner. We all were at this like my friend's restaurant, like big outdoor area, all had dinner. Then we all went dancing and then we went dancing some more. And then it's 2 a.m. We don't want to go home. So we of course went to a strip club, which as all great tales start, you know, till like 5 a.m. in New York, and all of a sudden like we're coming home at sunrise, and he had like this big like you're the one that got away moment, and I was like, what? Where the hell was this energy when we were splitting beers at Brit's Pub? We started just like talking long distance. I was like wrapped up in another relationship. I wasn't dating another guy, but I was like in a very toxic situation that was like on and off, and it was on and off because he was in and out of rehab, so it was very toxic.
Yeah.
And so it was funny because I kept Harrison at like arm's distance for like a good like 8 or 9 months. And I was like, no, my soulmate is over here and he doesn't have a job or a home or a plan to get either one of those or a car. His mode of transportation is a skateboard that I bought him.
Honestly, hot. Kind of get it.
Oh man. But when I finally came to my little silly senses and I let the very nice, hilarious, stable guy in, we did 2 years long distance between LA and New York. And it was like the best 2 years ever. It was so fun. And then he moved to LA a year ago yesterday. So he's been here for exactly a year.
Exactly a year now.
Yep. We started looking at engagement rings a little over a year ago and then really started designing the one that we wanted together in like November of last year. So I knew it was done in January, but he surprised me with proposing in April. When I was in New York on a girls' trip, he popped up in Central Park.
So you had no idea?
No clue. No, not at all.
Tell me about that day.
Okay. So I was on a girls' trip with my friend Kate in New York. We had just gone for a weekend and then I was going to work from our New York office that week. And then I was flying my mom out the next weekend for her birthday. So I had all this stuff planned. And Kate and I are having a great time. We go out on Friday. My friend Claire comes into town on Friday and she's like, oh, I have a work meeting on Monday. So since you were here, like, why don't I come out early? We'll spend the weekend with like you and Kate and stuff. I was like, that's awesome. That's so fun. Yes. So Claire, Kate, and our friend Ashley, who lives there, like we were all like bopping around all weekend, so fun. And then go to bed on Saturday night. And I thought there was a couple things that were like a little bit odd. Like no one wanted to go out with me on Saturday night. And when I'm in New York, I'd like to go out dancing and stuff. It's a city that never sleeps. Let's go. And I couldn't convince anyone to go out with me. And everyone's like, no, we're tired. We just like want to go to bed, order takeout and go to bed. And I was like, okay, we only have like one night here, but fine.
Yeah.
So the next morning I wake up and I feel like shit because I get my period that morning. So I'm like, have crazy cramps. I'm super bloated. I'm like in the shower. I'm in the shower, just like having like hot water, like pelt on my stomach to try to like help it. So I come out of the bathroom and Kate had been talking about this big brunch that she booked that was like this expensive like caviar brunch. So it had like a dress code. And I was planning on wearing this like beige dress. Yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to wear that because I feel like shit. And I like just got my period. So I'm not going to wear like a close to white dress. So I'm just going to wear this like big oversized skirt and like oversized like white Oxford button down. And Kate starts having like a little bit of a freak out. And she was like, you can't wear that. And I was like, why can I not wear that? And she's like, well, there's a dress code. And I was like, yeah, but Kate, it's a silk skirt and a button down. What kind of dress? I can't even like get the words out. She's like, it's a dress code. You have to wear a dress. And I was like, okay.
I love it.
So I put on this dress. I'm like getting ready, just feeling like I'm like popping Advil left and right. She's ordered us mimosas to the room. And I'm like, all right, this might help. So I just get in the car and I'm like letting her like put the address in and stuff. I'm like feel like such shit. I have like my head out the window at this point. So we pull up to Central Park and I was like, oh, the restaurant must be at Central Park. That's cool. And mind you, I had said goodnight to Harrison on FaceTime in our house. I saw him in our house on FaceTime 8 hours prior.
Okay.
And I hadn't talked to him that day because it was still early and like the time difference and stuff. The car stops and Kate goes, this is for you, and hands me this little card, this envelope. And it was Easter Sunday. And I was like, still none the wiser. I was like, oh, you got me an Easter card. I didn't get you one. Felt like a shitty friend. I was like, that's so sweet. So I'm like opening it, like starting to be like, oh, this is fun and cute. And I see his handwriting and it says check location. And that's when I have this moment where like my stomach dropped.
Yeah.
And I look at Kate and I just go, oh my God. And she does this thing where she goes, mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh my God. So I look at my location and he's in Central Park. So he's like 100 meters from like where we are. And I just have to like, so Kate and I get out of the car and I'm kind of like freaking out. And I'm like, how do I look? Do I look okay? Cause like I knew that like there would be like someone like taking photos or something. This moment was also very cool because I had a good like 5-10 minutes in this anxiety but excitement of finding out that I was getting proposed to and then going to go find him. And I'm there with one of my best friends and she's kind of like walking me to the situation. She's like, let me take that sweater. Like, let me take this bag. Like, it doesn't match your outfit. Like, you look great. And then like she walked me and she was like, all right, and this is where I leave you. And she like just like pushed me off down the Central Park path. And she was like, you'll see him around the corner. And it was like so cute. So sweet. It was a perfect day in New York. It was like 75 and sunny. The cherry blossoms were in bloom and I turn and he is just like standing alone under this cherry blossom tree. And he is just like smiling ear to ear. Like he was just so excited. And I like see him and I'm smiling so big. I go up and he like gives like the beautiful little speech. And I was just so excited.
Yeah.
Like it was, because I knew he was planning a big proposal because like he knew that I knew he wanted to do it in a place that was special to us, which New York is. It's like where we like reconnected and kind of started our relationship up again. And it's where our like we did long distance and we just had like the best memories from our first 2 years together.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect I didn't expect this weekend. So there was like such an element of surprise. So he gives me this like beautiful speech and I see in the corner are a photographer, and it is my friend Emilio, who is one of our photographers that I know through work. And he is like an epic photographer. Like he does like Vogue, Cannes, red carpet type stuff. Gosh. He did this as like an ultimate favor.
Your photos were unbelievable.
They were so good.
Absolutely
He did such a good job. And it's like, and I was just so excited. So for anyone listening, the photos, like I'm like quite literally like jumping in the air where it's like my feet are airborne.
The photos, looking at these photos, I could like feel your joy.
Yeah.
Like it like was like radiating through like my living room.
Yeah.
Like looking at the photos. They were unbelievable.
It was awesome. It truly was awesome. It was such a beautiful, perfect day. Like it looked like out of like a Hallmark movie. And then he proposes. I obviously say yes. Like he brings out this like beautiful ring that like I've been dying to see because I knew what it was going to look like. We designed it together, but it was so fun to like see it for the first time. And I just kept going, that's nice. That nice. He said, yeah, that is nice. And then like he like picks me up, spins me around, and it's so cute. You have that moment where it's like everyone like it was him just under this tree, but there's people all over the park. So like then like people start clapping and stuff. He has champagne there, is pouring champagne. Emilio's like snapping pics. And we're over the moon. We're so excited. We walk around. Emilio's like, well, I want to take some more photos of you guys. We just take like 20 minutes while we're drinking champagne, some more photos. And then Emilio's like, all right, I gotta run. So great to see you. It was awesome. And I was like, oh my God, what now? And he's like, I'm gonna take you to brunch. So we went to brunch. Just us two, and he was like, I don't want to call anyone or FaceTime anyone. I want this to be like just us. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to call anyone. We're just like telling the waiter and stuff like that. And that was so fun and like felt very surreal. And then while we're at brunch, it was like, there's one other thing, and he reaches in his bag that he had and he pulls out like a little journal.
Okay.
And he was like, and I flipped through it and it's filled, and he'd written in the entire thing. And he was like, I started writing to you on January 1st of this year because I knew that I was going to propose this year. So I wanted you to I needed to keep it a secret from you, but I wanted to put down like what I was doing on these days so that you can go back and kind of like see my process and stuff. So
it's so cute.
It's like I started sobbing. Like I hadn't cried until then. And like I just start like bawling as I like look through it. Like, and I see like little like snippets of like, I called your mom today. Like, we both cried on the phone, like, or like I picked up the ring today. And so it was just so sweet. It was so sweet. And so like that was the moment that like really got me.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's incredibly thoughtful and like very, very sentimental. Yeah, he's a very like emotionally intelligent and like expressive person. It's a lot of feelings. And it sometimes serves us great and sometimes serves us not well when we fight. So a double-edged sword, if you will.
Sweet.
We finish brunch and he's like, we're going to go to Brooklyn now to meet up with, I was like, wait, Claire's doesn't have work on. She doesn't have a work meeting. She's like, no, Claire's here for this.
Aww.
And so he was like, we're going to go to Brooklyn and meet up with Claire and Ashley and Kate, who I'd been with the whole time. And then I have some other friends who live in Brooklyn and like my good friend Corey. He's like, we're going to meet them at a bar in Brooklyn for a drink. And I was like, awesome. So we go to this bar, we walk in and he's like, hey, we're here for like, says his name. And then the host says something funny. She's like, oh yeah, let me just see if the table's ready. And I was like, that's when I was like, what? So like, okay. I was like, if we're just meeting friends at a bar, and she was like, yeah, it's ready if you want to just like go right upstairs. So we go upstairs and there are these like double doors.
Yeah.
And she opens the double doors and my entire family is there. His entire family is there. My mom has went out from Wisconsin. My brother's from Texas and from Colorado, his family from Minneapolis and Chicago, and then a ton of our friends from Colorado, from San Francisco, from New York, from like different parts in like Minnesota. It was like 30 people in this room that had flown out just for this. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I lost my shit.
Of course.
I was like screaming and I was looking at everyone in the room and I had this like almost like stroke moment where I see my brother and I was like, you're a liar. My mom, I'm like, you're a liar. Because they had all lied so much to me to make this happen.
Yeah.
Because I had asked them like what they're doing this weekend, or if they like previously, even like the week before, I was like, if they knew when he was going to propose, because I was wondering. Everyone had been lying to me for months.
Oh my gosh.
And it was awesome. It was so cool. It was so fun. And he just fucking crushed it. It was awesome.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah,
thank you. It sounds absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I couldn't have done it better. Like if I couldn't have like painted a better picture of it.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing.
And now that like you have the ring, that the event has like sort of happened.
So here's what I will say is I had this very weird come down moment because then we spent another 2 nights in New York. And we spent another 2 nights in New York, and like we went to Bemelman's the next day, which is like a piano bar on the Upper East Side, which is like one of my favorite places. And we had like caviar and champagne and oysters, and it was just like very celebratory and amazing.
Yeah.
Kate met us there, and like we knew that we wanted Kate to officiate our wedding, so we asked her like that night, like over champagne to like be the officiant for our wedding, because I mean like we'd already been obviously like talking about where and how we wanted to do it, knowing we were gonna get engaged, and we get back to LA. And I am just in this like weird funk. I like don't want to call people on FaceTime and like talk like tell yet. I like want to stay in this bubble a little bit, but then like I was sad and I didn't know why. And it like took me a while and talking with some other friends who like are married or had gotten engaged previously and realized that I had this like crazy high. It was like the best day of my life.
Yeah.
And also like, I think as women, not everyone's different, but like I have always like wondered what it was going to be like to get proposed to and to get engaged. And especially over the last year with us designing this ring, I would like have like daydream about it. Like, where is he going to choose to do it? How is he going to surprise me? Blah, blah, blah. And then it happened and it was amazing. And it was the best day ever. And then I was like, I think my brain was like, and now it's over. And now you never get to have that again.
Yeah.
Ostensibly.
No, that's so real though. When you build something up and it finally happens, and even if it's perfect or even better than perfect, then it's like, okay, now what?
And I couldn't figure out what it was either. I didn't know. I was like looking at the ring and being like, do I not like the ring? Like, I had a meltdown with him one time where I go into like his office and I literally like have like tears in my eyes. I was like, I'm looking at the ring and I'm just like wondering if it looks really bad on my hand. And like, maybe I'm not meant to be wearing this. And like, it would like, and I've never seen such like sheer confusion and like terror in his eyes, because usually he knows how to like calm me down if I'm having a meltdown. And this, he's like, I cannot make sense of anything. Because at one point I go, I think my finger's too fat to wear an engagement ring. And he was like, what are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Which is like a categorically insane thing to say. So yeah, I was just like having this like weird like mental like hurdle.
Yeah.
And then once I like actually like talked about it with like a couple friends, they were like, oh yeah, that's super normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Like, how long did it take you to sort of have that realization?
Like 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. It was 3 days that like I didn't go into the office because I didn't want like the pomp and circumstance around it for some reason. Like I think there was half of it was wanting to like stay in your little bubble and not like call people yet, because once you open that floodgate, then it's like, and I didn't post about it yet, even though we have these like amazing photos. And then once I started telling people, it was towards the end of the week that I had a friend my friend Kurt was like, why don't you just try like starting to call people, and I think you'll get like your serotonin back a little bit. And then that was like he was right. It was like once I started calling like my friends on FaceTime and stuff like that who are back home, that was really, really fun. And then like that like pulled me out of my little like engagement coma.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It was like the highest of highs, and then I just had this like come down. I was like, I never get to get engaged again.
So real.
Even though it was perfect.
Right.
And my friends too were like, just wait until the day after your wedding. You're going to want to swan dive off of whatever balcony you're staying
Well,
in.
it's funny because as you're talking, I don't remember really how I was feeling after my engagement, but I remember feeling after the wedding.
Yeah.
Waking up after the wedding and being like, well, that was the best day ever. That was that. Check. Now on to the rest of our lives.
And now it's over.
Yeah.
If that's not a metaphor for life in general, it's like, I think we're always going to have these things, and it's just about like what else is going to be fulfilling for you in the next phase of life.
Yes.
Crazy come down.
Yeah.
And then it came out of it, and now I'm so excited, but it just feels very natural and it feels very normal for us. And it just, sometimes we'll just joke with each other and be like, we're engaged.
Yeah.
We're getting married.
Yeah.
And kind of like look at each other and do the thing. And so I still have these like little pinch me moments like with him, and we both have it, and it's just fun, and it feels right, and it feels normal, and it feels natural. And now like we picked a wedding date and a venue and a country.
Gosh. And a country?
Yes. So mark your little calendars, get your childcare ready.
Where's it gonna be?
Because we're going to Portugal,
Let's
baby.
go! I was literally, oh my gosh, I was hoping you were gonna say Portugal. I was hoping so selfish you were gonna say Portugal.
Portugal, June 2027, okay?
Here's the thing. Robin and Harrison are gonna have the most chic and fabulous wedding of all time, and there's absolutely no doubt about that. Oh my god, I can't
That
wait.
is the motherfucking plan, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah. So like, and we've got that, and now I'm just gonna have fun in this phase and just like enjoy being engaged without having to rush all of the planning.
That's great.
And then we'll go from there. You and I both are entering into new phases, and new phases since we last sat down in these chairs, which is hysterical.
Right? It happened so quickly.
It happened so quickly. It happened so quickly. From here on out, we'll probably stay in both of these phases.
For a little bit.
Yeah. Lauren is a mother, me as an engaged person. But we're going to be here weekly talking about phases, whether it is phases of life or phases of our cycle. Next week, we want to give a 101 overview of the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle and what cycle syncing at a very high level looks like for people who maybe haven't heard about it before, are very new to this topic, or just want to listen to us yap.
It's going to be fun. And I think what's cool too is like we both have done cycle syncing and both love it. So like what's interesting is I can't cycle sync right now because I don't have a period still. So I think what's cool is like I'm excited for us to dive into the topic together, but to also talk about like even if you feel like you can't cycle sync, what can we learn from this?
Exactly.
And still take into whatever phase you're in.
So you guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you know Lauren and I a little bit better now. I hope you take a moment to acknowledge the grace and the beauty and the power that is the female body. Based on Lauren's story, we should all be doing that a little bit more.
Yeah, women are amazing. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.